Hello, Alan Ryder, Southeastern Railway Museum. Today we have a short video about replacing a resistor on our little friend SRM 1026. Here's the offending resistor that I took off of the locomotive, and it's pretty much deteriorated to the point of not being usable. It has ceramic insulation underneath the wires, and that's all broken out. You can kind of see where it's broken. And so one of our guys had tried to replace it in the past or repair it in the past, and even found another one. This is another one that we had, and it's both in about the same bad shape. So what do? Well, we come up with a substitution, but before I get into that, I'll explain what this resistor is for. Locomotives have all sorts of auxiliary equipment to support the engine, and radiators and radiator fans are an important one to keep the engine cool. Traction motor blowers like this one, this is the motor you see there, are needed to supply cooling air to each of the traction motors to keep them cool. And there are 4 on this locomotive, 4 blowers. So there's a lot of demand for power. Early on with locomotives like the FT, the E3, E5, early locomotives like that, all that auxiliary equipment was powered by belt drives or mechanical drives off the engine. And one of EMD's big innovations was to add an auxiliary alternator to the generator. And you can't really tell the difference. I'll show you in a second. But that auxiliary alternator supplied 3-phase alternating current. And that 3-phase AC is what we use now, and on most modern locomotives, something like that, to power all the big heavy current drawing auxiliaries. So I'll show you what it looks like on the generator. So this is the generator on 1026, and I can't go back far enough to really get an overall view of it, but this is the DC end of it, and this is the end of it where underneath that cover is the commutator and all the stuff for providing traction powers. But on the other end, so this is the 3-phase alternator end of the generator, and basically on the armature, or the rotating part, there's the generator end, which is the other end of it, and then this is the alternator end. So they're all on the same shaft, and that provides 3-phase alternating current depending on what speed the engine's turning, anywhere from about 60 volts to about 150 volts alternating current. And that powers the fans, the traction motor blowers, and all that other good stuff. So what does that have to do with the resistor that's burned up? Well, to make the alternator go, you need to put a little bit of DC current into the fields of the alternator, and that's what that resistor is for. It's 74 volts goes through that resistor. The resistor drops the current just a little bit, and it goes into the alternator to make power. It's a 30 amp circuit breaker, and so it gets a little bit hot. It actually runs about 20 amps. And over time, of course, that resistor deteriorated. So after the production of the GP7, the E8, and locomotives of that ilk, EMD figured out a different way to run power to the alternator field, so that resistor wasn't needed. And what's happened is that's made that resistor more or less unobtainable. So I'd asked around and talked to a couple of vendors about getting a replacement for this, and they basically said no, they can't get them, or they didn't bother to contact me back. So I talked to a friend of mine, John Jaros, who does locomotive work, and he suggested using a headlight resistor, which is a fairly high current resistor. So with that in mind, I did a little bit of digging in our diesel parts car and came up with those resistors. And each one of those is about, I think, 2.2 ohms, and it's rated at 500 watts. And so I hooked one of them up and tested it out, and it seemed to work fairly well. Got pretty hot. It's about 2 or 3 times the rating of the resistor, but it seemed to work okay. And since we had 3 of them, I decided, well, I'll just put a couple of them in parallel in series, get the same resistance, which is 2.2 ohms total, even though there's 4 resistors there. There's 2 of them in parallel and then 2 of them in series, which gives me back the same resistance and a higher current rating. So that's what we're going to put on. And what I did is I took those arms, or took these rods like right here, took it off of this other set and used that to mount the resistors. So we're going to install them now, and I'll show you what they look like after I get it installed. So this is where that resistor goes, and it's got a couple of other friends in there too. I don't know what they do, but they're the same kind of resistor, but they're just fine. So we'll install this one. And there's the new resistor installed and ready to do its thing. That pretty much concludes this video. It's a short one. Well, not quite. If you notice, the strap that the resistors are mounted on is bent, and that won't hurt the resistors any, but it looks weird and it bugs me, so I'm going to take care of it. The reason they're bent is because there's little hooks on the ends of the straps, and I knew that when I assembled them, and I did it on purpose because I figured the hooks on the straps would engage the adjacent resistor bank, but I didn't take into account the mounting bracket, so the mounting bracket interferes with it. So we're going to take this sucker back apart and make it right. All better. Well, they're nicely straightened out now. Both straps are straight up and down where they're supposed to be. Was it worth the effort? No. But the little OCD that I have is quite satisfied, and I suppose I can sleep better tonight. Now that we've got the resistors taken care of, go ahead and fire this baby up and see how she does. she's supposed to do. That right there is a no voltage relay, and for years and years it's blocked up. We don't need that anymore. I've got my meter on the three-phase alternator current coming out of the alternator. These are the leads that go to the cooling fans and the blower. You can see at idle, it's about 45.8 amps. Ryan's going to rev the engine up, and as the engine speeds up, its voltage is going to go up. It'll go up, we're not going to go to 8th notch, but it'll go up to about 150 150 volts at 8th notch. We're not going to go that high. We're probably going to go up to about 3 or 4. Go ahead. Just put it up at about 5th notch. These are the temperature switches for the cooling fans, and we'll do a test button on a couple of them, and you can see the fans spin up, and you can see we got our power now. Alternator field power goes from the batteries into the armature and into the alternator. So that's the power for the field going into the generator or into the alternator. You can see these resistors get pretty hot. Well, that's about it. We got the resistor taken care of. Nice substitution for an unobtainable resistor, and all is good. She's doing what she's supposed to do. So, short video. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you happen to be in the Atlanta, Duluth area, come see us. Southeastern Railway Museum. Got a bunch of interesting stuff here. Thank you very much.